let's talk about certainty today, the idea of certainty and how as sensitive people, we can use certainty. I am certain that we could use certainty to affect our lives on a micro level, but also I believe we can use it to affect the world on a macro level. Because as A Course in Miracles says, those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety. We are certain of the outcome, so we can afford to wait and we can wait without anxiety. So unfortunately, I am certain that this dog is, oh, you can't, I don't know if you can really see it on video, but she just got in the mud and she is all wet and muddy. But we still love her. Anyway. Okay, so let's first talk about certainty on a macro level, which is really what A Course in Miracles truly means. It's talking on a macro level, but it also, we can apply it on a micro level too, but not until we understand the meaning behind the macro level, if this is making sense. Okay, so let's start. A Course in Miracles says, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So A Course in Miracles is saying that only the things that are real will survive. So only the things that are of God, it considers the things that are real that are of God. So these are things that are like love, what comes from God. And we only in this world we can see things that symbolize the things that come from God, and that's where we can get this on a micro level and apply it to our individual lives on a micro level. But those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety means that God is the outcome, that God is the final outcome. We can move onward to the certainty of God, right? What was the other one that I keep saying? All shall be well and all shall be well and all manner of things shall be well. That is true in the end. It doesn't mean, I made another video when I first got back on YouTube like a year ago regularly. I made a video right around the time of the election, and I said this: those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety. And I was like, well, I'm not saying I know what the outcome of the election is. I'm not saying I could be certain of the outcome of the election, right? That is not what it's saying. It's saying I'm certain that the outcome overall, the outcome of the world is good, that love will win. You know, like I always say, we don't deny darkness, we just deny its power over us. So like we know that love will win, and we know that love will last, and we know that anything that is not of God doesn't last, does not have power over us. So we can know that like just on a macro level. And I feel like as sensitive people, we can affect the world more than we have been led to believe. Like if we can sit, I mean, seriously, I've been saying this over in my videos recently, but like if we can sit in the certainty of this, if we can move and we can act in our lives from the certainty of this. My husband and I went and saw Supergirl yesterday on Sunday, and I really liked it personally. I'm not like, my son is actually my stepson is actually a comic book artist. So they and my husband, they're really into all of the, you know, the little details of everything. But me, just as a person who likes to go to movies, I actually enjoyed it. My favorite quote from that movie was when Supergirl's mom was dying and she said to Supergirl, be good. She said, you don't have to, doesn't mean you can't be tough. It doesn't mean you have to be nice, but be good. I just love that because I feel like that describes it perfectly. Like we're moving onward to the certainty of God. It doesn't mean we can't be tough. It doesn't mean we have to be nice, but we are good, and we are certain. We are certain of the goodness of the world. Or maybe I should say we are certain of the goodness that is in the world. We are training. There's so much to this. And once I start talking, there's so much that's going through my mind about what I want to say, like training our minds to see the good. So yes, training our mind to see the good. I was just talking to a client about this. You know, it's like what they say in church: God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. That is not burying our heads in the sand and saying the evil doesn't exist or the darkness doesn't exist, or, you know, it's not, it can sound like that. It can sound like that, but that is not what it means. It means we are being certain of the goodness of God. We are being certain that it is good, that the outcome is good. So on a macro level, it's good. Like it's good news, right? I was listening to a spiritual teacher recently who just said, who was basically like, just know that it's good. Just know that the outcome is good. But that also doesn't mean that we just like sit around and know the outcome is good and do things that are destructive, or, you know, that's not what that means either. So how can this affect us like in a micro level? Well, we are certain of the outcome of certain things in our life. It doesn't mean we know exactly what the outcome should be. But when we are certain that God is on our side, when we are certain that the universe has our back, when we are certain that the outcome is overall good, it also creates, I mean, I believe it just logically creates us to act differently in the world, you know? So you guys might think I'm crazy, but fear not, because I am. Okay, so I feel like a good example of this is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Amanda Francis. Now, disclaimer, I've never watched the show. I've never been interested in watching the show. I'm not a big reality TV fan, but I've always liked Amanda Francis. And so when I found out she was going to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to watch it. My husband's like, oh my God, like when the show's with me on. Anyway, so her on that show was such an interesting thing to watch. It was so interesting. I had so many different feelings. I really got into it, okay? And I don't think she's going to be on next season, which means I won't be watching it anymore. But so I don't really watch these shows, so I didn't really get it, the whole thing. Like, it's really, they really are, like, just like talk about each other the whole time. They like talk negatively about each other on camera and then expect, I don't know what they think the other person's not going to find out when it's public. I don't get it. But anyway, what was so interesting about having Amanda Francis on the show? So Amanda Francis is like a money empowerment coach, but she talks about law of attraction. And if you really, I've taken her courses, you know, if you really know her, this is just a good example of like where it depends on where it comes from. Because you could look to be Amanda Francis in the world and you could think that people could think that you're shallow, that you're too into money, that you're, but her heart, like where she actually comes from, it's like she deeply understands the teachings of like the law of attraction, like a Neville Goddard. So I'm not saying that Amanda Francis is perfect or anything. She's not. She's a human being. But it was interesting watching her on the show. So when the show started, it was like, oh my God. Like, first of all, they did a lot to make her look really bad. But then also, I don't think she was necessarily, I love Amanda Francis, but there was times that it didn't seem like she was helping herself to look better. But she stayed herself. It was so interesting watching because she stayed herself. So I do think she came out really of this whole thing really good, but she really dealt with a lot of hate and just horrible. It just didn't really look good. And then I think she was also kind of reacting, you know, which she's human, like of course. But I think it was about halfway through the season, and I remember seeing this on her Instagram where she said, she at one point said the Course in Miracles quote, "Those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety." She used that on her story. She didn't really talk about that much like later, but she said that halfway through she decided, I don't know if it was exactly halfway through, whatever, but she decided that she will win in the end. And when she said, like, that can sound like I will win, like I'm going to compete against everybody, and you know, that's not, I don't think that's what she meant. I think she meant I will shine. I don't even know if that was her exact words. Maybe it was like I will shine in the end or whatever. And so she became certain of the outcome. And she literally did use that quote, when you're certain of the outcome, you can afford to wait and wait without anxiety. So she became certain of the outcome. And you could see in the show, like the second half of the season, she acted differently. She was more quiet. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She was continuing to be herself. She always acted like herself. It wasn't like, but she didn't like apologize for herself. It was amazing to watch. And like, she ended up coming out of it really good. Like she had, I think it was Rihanna text her or message her. Anyway, so she came out ahead. I think she still has a lot of hate and everything, but she shined in the end. And I think because she was certain of the outcome, it actually changed her. Not that she wasn't always herself. She was always herself, but I do feel like it changed her behavior in a positive way where she was even more herself, more sure of herself. She became certain of the outcome. And I feel like that can help us just in our lives. It can bring about the outcome. It can bring about the outcome that we want. Not that you're guaranteed to get the exact outcome that you want, but it can bring being certain that the outcome will be good, the outcome's in your favor, that God's on your side. Being certain of that, it can affect your life in a positive way. Like I said, I'm not guaranteeing that every outcome that you want will come to you. But being certain of the outcome, being certain that move onward to is that what it is? Moving onward to the certainty of God. Oh my gosh, how have I not connected that quote? I just now connected that quote because it has the word certainty on it. We will move onward to the certainty of God. We are certain of the outcome. Come on, Star. She's coming towards me with the tongue hanging out even though she's muddy, oh, it looks a little better. We are certain of the outcome. We will move onward to the certainty of God. I feel like as a sensitive person, I've struggled a little bit with certainty because I can so easily see as an empath and stuff. I can so easily see everybody's perspective and like it can mess with me. So I think I'm good at the certainty of God, but sometimes the certainty in the middle is something that I've struggled with. So I think as sensitive people, that's why I'm sharing this too, because I think as sensitive people, if we could know that if we could give ourselves permission to be more certain, I can almost feel it changing the world. Like we are allowed to be certain. There's a lot of like outward, extroverted, real confident people who are really certain about things, right? Like we can be certain. And sometimes it depends on where you're coming from. Like, for example, this weekend, I decided to start an Amazon Associates account. So an Amazon Associates account, I didn't realize that you can open an Amazon Associates account if you have a very small following. It doesn't matter. I thought you had to have like a bigger following. And basically what it is you share things that you like or that, for me, it would be things that bring me peace, things that bring me joy. And then I would get a small commission if somebody purchased it. It gives me an associates link, and at no additional cost to the buyer, I would get a small commission for sharing the link, right? So I get like an associates link. And so I decided to start that this weekend. And I was so excited about it. It felt like it was something that I was supposed to do to become more, just like a next step in my online journey. I don't know. Like it just felt like it felt more me. I felt more alive. It felt like it came from God. And what happened was then I posted something about it on Instagram. On an Instagram story, simple. I don't even get a lot of views on my Instagram story. Okay, I posted something about how I was excited. This was like because it felt like a moment that I had signed up to do this, and Then I posted it a little bit later. I became a little paranoid. Like I became uncertain. Like maybe this looks bad, or this looks like this could look. I'm looking at it through everybody else's eyes, and then I thought, well, should I take this down? Should I take this story down? And then I was like, wait a minute. No, let's move onward to the certainty of God. Like, I am sure this is what I wanted to do. And it's more me to do it. Some people, like for me, and this is probably true for a lot of sensitive people, it's like some people might walk into a room looking for attention. Like for instance, I don't feel like I do that. I feel like I don't really want the attention. So like, for instance, I don't want to say I never want the attention. It's not bad. For instance, though, like I was carrying this sparkly purse all the time. I should put that on my Amazon Associates. Oh, by the way, these overalls, I'll put the link to the overalls below because this is like one of the things that I was sharing. So anyway, I had this sparkly purse that I was carrying around that I'd carry with me everywhere. I loved it. It brought me so much joy. It was just like I'd walk into like aerobics and you could see it in the mirror. I just loved it. And this woman one time, I think I shared this story before. This woman one time was like, I want to get that purse for my daughter. Can you tell me? Oh, and that happens to me all the time where I'm carrying something and someone's like, or I'm wearing something or whatever. Not bragging, but it happens to me, not all the time, but it happens to me quite often. Anyway, she was like, I want that for my daughter. Can you tell me where you got it? And I like found it for her on Amazon, right? And she goes, I would get it, but I don't want any more attention. I don't want any attention or something. And I thought, am I carrying this for attention? That's the last reason why I'm carrying this. It's more brave of me to carry it. It's more me to carry it. I'm carrying it to be more fully me. I'm not carrying it for the attention. Does that make sense? So like, it's just an example of how things in this world could look a certain way, but it's not that. It depends on where it's coming from and how we don't really know where people are coming from. We don't really know. So it's like, let's stop worrying about where anybody else is coming from though, and let's worry about where we're coming from. Okay, let's move onward to the certainty of God, to the certainty of the goodness of our sensitive systems, the certainty of the goodness of us, and the certainty of the goodness of the future. I'm re-listening to this video after Zumba, and I feel like there's a couple things that I wanted to clarify or add to it. And in this video, I feel like I talk about action a lot, which is kind of different for me because the action isn't as important as the vibration for where it comes from. So I don't mention this in this video, but it's like the vibration, just sitting in the vibration of certainty. I feel like as sensitive people, just living our lives, like when I say act, sometimes acting in the world is just living our lives from that place, from the certainty of the goodness of the future, from the certainty of the goodness of, I think it's David Bayer who says the certainty of the goodness of the future, but the certainty of the goodness that we know is within us and within the world. Like when we act from that, when we're in that vibration, that is what is strong. And that's really a frequency holder thing, sitting in the vibration of the certainty of the goodness of the future. Like that, like when I talk about, like, doesn't have to be an action either, but I also don't want it to be misunderstood as like, that we just do destructive things that are like self-destructive or destructive, like, and we say, oh, well, it's all good, you know? So sometimes doing nothing, like even when I use that Amanda Frances example, when she changed, her behavior was like subtly changed because I feel like she came more from the vibration of certainty, like certainty that this is going to end up okay for her. When her vibration changed, she actually acted less. She tried to prove herself less. She talked less, you know? So it's sometimes the actions are coming, sometimes it's acting less, if that makes sense. So go ahead and subscribe if you want more videos like this. I talk about being sensitive in this world. I talk about being sensitive in this crazy world and finding inner peace within this world. And yeah, and from now, I have some Amazon links to share too. I can share some of my favorite things that bring me joy. If you want to see the overalls a little bit better here, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'll probably be paranoid that I did this later. This is like the worst way to show you guys overalls. They're really cute though. They're shorts. I don't have, let's see if we can move this a little bit. But anyway, if you can see them, I'll share the link below to those if you want to add some joyful overalls to your life. Okay, peace and love. I hope this helped you today, and I hope this helped you to be certain in whatever you have decided that you want for yourself, or just be certain in whatever you have decided. When my nieces were little, their mom passed away. And I took care of them a lot, and I was with my brother a lot, and there were two little girls, right? They were 7 and 10 when their mom had passed away, and something that we always did was we would like make plans. I was always very involved in like the plans and stuff, so we would make plans, and then suddenly we would, like my brother and I'd be talking, and we would doubt it. We'd question ourselves, and then we started doing this thing where we'd say, "Don't doubt the plan." Stick with the plan, stick with the plan. So it's like, it's like my idea to go on Amazon Associates, like don't doubt it. Like I know in the whole that I was supposed to do that. So I'm trying to say this to you too, like whatever it is that if you got this like whisper from God or something loud from God, like don't doubt it. Don't mess with the plan. Like whatever, there could be things along the way that make it seem like it's not going to work out, or that you did something stupid. Like when I shared that Instagram story, I felt like it was klutzy and weird, and it might have been a little awkward. But I got through it because my goal was just to start the account and share something over the weekend. So like, I'm not going to doubt the plan. I'm not going to doubt what God told me to do, you know? And it's like my brother and I, when we had plans with my nieces when they were little, like we don't mess with the plan. Like, no, let's follow through with it. And I'm not saying this always. I'm saying like sometimes obviously things change or whatever, like you have to go with the flow in those instances, but don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt. Be certain. Move onward to the certainty of God. Okay, I will promise this time I will finish. Peace and love. I will talk to you soon, and I will see you next time.